Alright, so here's the main rocket build. We have a main stage down here to get us into orbit. Then we have this one to secure our orbit. A second stage to actually put us in orbit with the path of the moon, and to slowly slow us down when we're actually entering the moon's gravitational field. This stage is to fully slow ourselves down while entering the moon's field. Then at the very last second we extend these and we are actually able to land on the moon. In here we have monopropellant and we have our capsule. It is also very important to have these ladders on the side, because if you don't have those ladders, then you can't get back up into your spacecraft, and it's really painful trying to go through the process of redoing. So yeah. Alright, so what you want to do is you want to get into your orbit, and that orbit is at 50,000 meters. So once you get to 50,000 meters, you could get into a stable orbit. Really loud, so I recommend you turn down your volume. Yeah, volume warning. So first off, we would fire our engines, make sure SAS is main engine all the way down. Release, accelerate a little bit more. Alright, and then full down. I think we're okay since we don't have any other engines that could be blown up in that process. 48, 49, 50. Alright, so now that we're at 50, we're going to want to rotate to a 10-degree angle. Now this will give us the horizontal speed we need. Now this stage is mainly to actually get us up, so it can boost us during this part of the actual flight, but it's not recommended or not required. It's not required. So if you make a mistake or something on launch, then you still have basically 97 seconds of burn. Now, main key thing after you get into orbit is you want to target the moon. That helps you with actually lining yourself up with its orbit. Alright, so we're out of that. Now we're in space. Then we prograde. Now prograding on this stage is a lot easier. Okay, so now we are completely out of the atmosphere, so let me just extend our solar panels. There we go. Now we have full orbit. We need to get this above 50,000. Alright, and then we could relax on the burn. Then we want to time warp over to here to extend our PE. So we just time warp a little bit. Now if you don't have your solar panels extended at this point, your ship will run out of electricity. Actually, you see, I'm actually not carrying any crew on this ship. Okay. So I guess this is gonna be just a probe to land. Alright, so now that we're here, we want to prograde. Give ourselves a little burn to prograde. You could also deploy this, then turn on RCS. Now we should be able to prograde and extend this part a little bit. Yeah. Well, basically keeping this part the same. So full prograde burn. Alright, so this is basically a spherical orbit. So then what we want to do is target the moon. And you see the DN and AN, we want to get our probe down to there and then do a burn. So let's see. Alright, so now that we're down at DN, we can do a prograde burn, and then you should be good. Alright, and then we want to make that line almost 0. So there we go, almost 0. Now you want to kind of time warp a little bit. And we kind of want to pass the AP and then extend our PE. So then this doesn't shrink at all. Alright, so about here. Well, actually we need to go a little bit further. So let me go a little bit further up. Now we should be accelerating a little bit. Now let me do like a small burn. As you can see, we still have quite a bit of fuel left. Let me see. 43 seconds of full burn on this. And it's not the landing stage or anything. It could be used to help with landing, but it's not really that much of a landing stage. So let's see. Alright, so now you can see a big circular orbit around our Earth that intersects with the moon. So from here, all we do is just time warp until we see that the moon and the satellite collide. So if I go right here and then retrograde, then we should be able to slow ourselves down on our trajectory. Wouldn't work though, I don't think. Let me see. It's gonna shrink one side, but it's gonna leave this side okay. Okay, so that was that of our burn. Separate here, extend these solar panels. Make sure we don't run out of electricity anytime soon. Alright, so now we got an AP. This is actually really good. As you can see, this is our point of intercept. All we gotta do is just aim it downward. So, relative to the moon, we gotta aim our ship down. So, where's the moon? Cool. Now I can wait until the moon gets to where we want it, and then could do a retro burn close to right here, and then the moon's gravity should take us in. Nice. See how much burn time I have left. 69 seconds of burn time. Alright, we're good. Okay. So there's our trajectory line. So what we got to do now is retrograde burn. then this should make us go straight into the moon. So let's see. Hard to tell. I think we could wait for like a little bit longer, then proceed with a retrograde burn. So like closer to right here, we could retro. We should get our speed down to roughly 0, and as you can see, PE's actually okay. So that just had a seizure. Don't know why. All right. So we're gonna try to get to 0. And then straight into the moon. Alright, so now that we have this, it's basically a direct line down to the moon. So our retrograde will move over directly to the center, which is kind of what we want. So you can see that we actually got directly centered. Then with this, we can actually speed up time a little bit. We don't want to go too fast because then we slam into the moon and we don't want that. So let's see. We're going down. Okay, almost misclicked there. Could extend our landing gear. So once we reach once we reach 20,000, we will begin a burn to slow down all of our speed. Burn off all of our speed. So 44 seconds roughly. "27, 4, 3, 2, 1. Alright. Here we want to perform a move to burn off. No, actually we can go 150. So 55, 4, 3. Okay, we did a little bit late, but still burn off all of our speed using. Okay, now that we've run out of that, we go to our next stage, which should be much better. This engine's a skiff, so it's very efficient in these vacuum conditions. So I'm pretty sure I don't want to burn all the fuel just by doing this, so I'm going to slow us down a little bit. So this is the longest and most tedious part of the actual landing. We're coming down. 2, 1. Alright, we cut off the engines. Just gonna let the RCS do its thing. Turn it off. And there you have it. We have landed on the moon. So, now that we're on the moon, we can launch off and head back to Earth. And we basically do it the same way we got off of Earth. Get into orbit, then extend our one part all the way back to Earth. So, we are going to launch off back in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. We're off. Driving wheels. How much burn do we have? 84 seconds. Alright, and then to be the most fuel efficient, let's actually see how much burn time we have left. 53 seconds. Alright. So what I'm going to do is accelerate time right here. So a little bit faster. And then from right here during the AP, I'm going to accelerate, and we don't really need a maximum distance. Alright, so prograde burn. Now as you can see, we have basically orbit around the moon. So as this moon passes, find a point. So like right there. A little bit further. Okay, so now it's a little bit too far, but we can always course correct. So now we're gonna prograde burn. Alright, so bam. So now let's see if we accelerate time. Once we reach here, we can determine if we're going to be in orbit of the Earth or if we're just going to fly straight past it of how we are right now. So hopefully not flying straight past it. Okay, so we're just in orbit, right? So then, as we mentioned before, you can retrograde. So we no longer have a PE, and we are going to collide with the Earth at one point or another. So just not that, but map, then speed up time. Gonna go like this. So getting onto the moon is not that hard, but getting back from the moon is actually a pretty big challenge. So as you can see, we are here. We're gonna have to retrograde to the Earth. Okay. We're coming in. We are gonna be hitting right over here. Burned a little bit too early. So we are now out of fuel. So I think we should add a heat shield next time because we're probably going to burn up in the atmosphere at this speed. Unless we are extremely lucky. So we are retracting everything. Going retrograde to burn our actual engine first. As long as our pod's safe, then we should be good. Alright, so we are regaining atmosphere. There we go. Should be slowing down a lot. Alright, so overheating. Okay, so yep, there we go. Something has exploded. One of the legs exploded. Alright. So now we can toggle off RCS. Parachute is safe to open. Alright, so we are now re-entering back into the Earth's atmosphere. Should be pretty good. 12, 11, 7, 6, 4, 3, 2. Alright, nice. We slowed down just in time. So we are gonna fall because yeah, we fell. Alright. Well, we made it back from the moon. We're still in one piece basically. We just lost our landing gear. Now it's to the moon and back, so anyone on this crew hatch would have actually made it straight back to Earth. So yeah, that's basically how to get to the moon and back. Hope you guys liked it. And yeah, I know it was a pretty long video, but yeah.